And we are live. So posted another video right before and it kind of shut down. So before we start, guys, I'm going to be covering today how to survive a knife attack. We recently saw what happened in Paris, and some people asked me, Nick, what do I do if I'm faced with a knife? Now, the knife is the most dangerous weapon in the street. I just came back from Boston. I was training the defensive instructors. I was doing a certification program, and we're basically covering edged weapon knife attacks in close quarter range. So knife against gun. But before we start, guys, if you want to learn Captain Irish, if you guys want to learn more self-defense, go visit my website, nickdrossos.com. I have brand new programs, brand new knife defense videos, the hero program, women's self-defense, improvised weapon, defense against larger attacker, brand new video. So that's at nickdrossos.com. So go check it out. So what I want to focus on today is I want to focus on improvised weapons. Okay, how do you use, what are the steps if you're faced against a knife? Right? Obviously, I always tell people against the knife, you want to resort only when you have no option and only as a last resort, you come in and you engage with the knife. Other than that, in close quarter, or when you're faced with a knife, the idea is for you to evade and escape. Now, defending against a knife is probably the hardest weapon to defend against. But that doesn't mean there's nothing you could do. A little bit of something is better than knowing nothing. So what I'm going to give you guys is some concepts and strategies and some ideas that if you're faced in a knife attack, what can you do? So the first thing I tell people, if you could run, run. But in order for you to run against a knife attack, you need a good 15 minimum, but at least a good 20 feet for you to run. Now, hoping that you can run faster than the attacker and you're in an open space. So we did a pressure point. We did we pressure tested where Helen was where the bob dummy was. I was about 15 feet away. I tried to run through the door. Guess what? Just the movement of opening the door, I got stabbed. The movement of running upstairs, I got stabbed. So any slight obstacle that might get in your way will slow you down. So sometimes the chances are better of you to turn around and face the attacker than actually give your back and be vulnerable for stabs in the back. Your second option, and this is what I'm going to be covering today, is improvised weapons. Okay? Now there's three types of improvised weapons. You have projectiles. So what's a projectile improvised weapon? Anything that you can throw. If I had a bottle of water, my cap, a shirt, change, sand, and I have this in my video, my hero program, we did one of the scenarios where I'm breaking it down and Costa attacks me and I get on the ground and I take sand and rock and I throw it in his face and he flinched. Again, it's not going to end the fight, but it's enough to create a flinch response. So you have what we call projectile, anything that you can pick up and that you can throw. The second type of static improvised weapon is a static improvised weapon. What's a static improvised weapon? If I was outside, the car would be a static improvised weapon. What does that mean? I could use the car between me and my attacker as a shield. If you're at a school, you can use the bench. If you were at a park, the bench park. That means a static improvised weapon is something that you can't pick up or throw, but definitely something that you can use to create distance or between you and your attacker. Now, what does that mean? If I start moving and instead of moving straight, I move around a car, well, he's got to run around the car or he's got to jump through the car. Well, those few seconds buy me to either escape, pick up an improvised weapon, maybe be able to prepare to go offensive or defensive, right? So we're talking about seconds in terms of survival, okay? So it's a static. The third one is everything that you could use to give you range. So the idea against a weapon, against a knife, it's all about what I call it's the range game, right? So one of them right here is a belt. So the way you would use a belt is here, here, here. Where I would use the belt to try to, again, use the belt to create distance between me and my attacker. Maybe I'll demotivate him to continue his attack as I'm doing this. If I had a chair, I'd pick up a chair and hit high, hit low, using the chair as a shield as well to protect my center mass. Okay? So if you're in a situation where you're about to be attacked, again, the number one thing is awareness, right? If the person's gonna attack you with a knife, he's gotta come at least 4 to 6 feet. The knife has to be out or already hidden, concealed. So how did he break the range? How did he get to your range? Where was your awareness? Did you see his hands? Is he angling off? Is he looking around? Is he touching his face? Is he trying to break the range through verbal to get close or draw you in so he can attack? So you got to be aware of those stuff. This is self-defense. And this is, again, I'm referring to my hero program. If you guys are interested, I'm going to put the link in the comment box. In my hero program, I teach that. I do drills and exercises for awareness, how to develop that radar so you can be aware of everything that's going on around. So the fight doesn't start the moment the guy grabbed you or punched you. The fight starts the moment you make visual or intuitive contact. And what you start doing from that moment will dictate and determine more or less the entire attack. By you being aware, it gives you as well minutes or seconds of preparation. Where he thinks you're being caught off guard or unaware, you're actually prepared. Guess what? You'll be able to move quicker, respond faster, act or react, and be able to make that decision based on what your attacker does. So you have the awareness. Once you have the awareness, you're looking around. How much space do I have? What's my environment? What do I have around me? That's the second question you need to ask yourself, right? Can I run? I can't run. I'm 10 feet, 5 feet away. Maybe I'm a woman in my heels and my skirt. Option number 3, what can I pick up as an improvised weapon? Right? Could I pick up, do I have a purse, a bag, something I could throw, something I could move around? Guys, this is, and I mean a lot of the self-defense and martial arts doesn't cover that. But that's 90% of the fight. 90% of the fight is you being able to detect and be able to avoid and be able to be aware and be able to be prepared. Once that's done, then the physical part, it's kind of you're already locked and loaded and you're ready. So you're not caught off guard, you're not caught off surprise, and that means more chance of you surviving and be able to do something to defend yourself quicker than be ambushed or go in shock or freeze or panic because you were not prepared for what just happened. Right? So before I get into any of the physical, and I'm not, I want you today to understand and learn these principles because they can save your life. Okay? You guys have any questions right now? Is Kubotan good against the knife? No, it's not good against the knife because you're in close quarter range. Think about it, guys. Give me a second. I'm going to go pick up some weapons right now. A knife is here, a Kubotan is this, right? That's why, Philip, I'm making this video. In order for you to survive, right? Look at the range. It's not gonna help me. I still have to break that range. I'm still gonna have to go in close quarter. The idea against the knife is for you to have the edge through range. This is why, pick up a chair, pick up a bag, start throwing stuff. If only as a last resort do you engage in close quarter with the knife. That means when you have no choice and the person's grabbed you or going to grab you or you're cornered, then you have no choice but to engage the knife. Thanks, Mando. Best improvised weapon against a knife is a chair. Absolutely. If you can get to a chair, bar stool, anything that you can get. Where you want to hit first. Against the knife. What people tend to, I focus now more and more in my training against the knife, not to go defensive, but to go offensive, right? You have to attack the attacker. Every time I went defensive on the knife in training and pressure testing, and I just came back from Boston. I was training the Boston Police. I was training the defensive tactic unit in Boston, right? So we were actually drilling stuff, pressure testing. So I'm teaching an instructor course. So if you guys are interested, again, go visit my website, nickdrossos.com. And we were pressure testing full out drills. And every time you're in close quarter, anytime we move back, every time we step back, every time the instinct was to move back, the person got, never had the advantage. In your training, what you want to do against a knife is step in. You want to step in. You want to crash into the attacker and push him back. As long as I'm moving back, I'm getting stabbed. You could never move back faster than he's moving forward. So higher chances of backpedaling, of losing your footwork and going to the ground. So as hard as it is, you want to train to step in against the knife, to move in and to crash. Okay? So one of the drills I do, guys, I'll just show it to you guys now, is I do this, right? I put my foot over here like this, and I have the attacker come at me. And my objective is to step in, to step in, to step in instead of moving back. And because the foot is pinned on the wall, you have no other option but to move forward. So by doing these drills, you're conditioning and I'm wiring you to move forward. And you'll see that every time you move back, you end up getting stabbed. Now, can you kill someone who pulls a knife on you in the USA? I don't know the legal terms. However, the amount of force that you use must parallel the amount of danger, right? However, I do know that if you disarm him and you have the weapon and he attacks you, then you're in a position of power. Then yes, you could be charged. Nick, if you get stabbed, will you die? Absolutely not, guys. You can get stabbed, you can get shot and still survive. Help book at Nick Drossos. I don't have a self-defense book, but I am working on one next year, guys. I'm going to be coming out with a book. I'm going to be sharing my life as a bouncer, everything I've learned, all my source of inspiration. Why not just whip out your 44 Magnum headshot, dude? Isn't this America? Look, we did this pressure test in close quarter range, and I have the video on YouTube when I went to New York and I trained the police. In close quarter range, knife against a gun. Anything under 15 feet, 20 feet. It's a 20 feet, it's kind of like a 50-50. 15 feet, it's a 60-40 for the gun. Anything under 15 feet, the knife will have the advantage. What's the best way to de-escalate someone trying to swing wildly at you? I'm from Europe. Again, guys, de-escalate, bring your hands up, start talking to him, create distance, create space. Keep your voice calm. Don't threaten. Don't challenge. However, be aware and be prepared. That's the key, right? I don't want to let him know I'm about to fight him. I don't want to let him know that I'm aware. As I'm talking to him, I'm looking at everything that's going around. His hands, his movements. Is he looking around, touching his face, angling off? Is he making a signal? All that stuff is very important. Open space like a basketball court. Nothing throw and nothing to do shield. At that point, again, if you could run, run. If you're in close quarter, then you have no choice but to fight. Sto parlathon elega oti psanometis makria. Do you attack as soon as you see the knife? That's a great question. Do you attack as soon as you see the knife? I mean, if I see him pull it out, I mean, if I see him do this, personally, I'm attacking. Because I rather intercept the knife here, or here, or here, or as it's coming out, than when it's already out and it starts picking up speed. This is where the awareness. So what I focus on a lot right now in my programs is to be able to intercept and explode the moment you see these movements. I don't want to deal with the knife once it's out and it starts picking up speed. You want to use your awareness and you want to step in. The moment you see him going to reach, pull something out, the moment he's coming close and you cannot see his hands, or you could only assume, if I see him here and I can't see his hands and he's talking to me like this, I can only assume he has a weapon, and I will assume he has a weapon. What if he gets surprise attack? I mean, the idea, Shun Sui, what I'm trying to teach you is develop your awareness so you're not surprise attacked. There's no reason why somebody's walking behind you and you haven't turned around and just scanned the person for a second. There's no reason why somebody should get 5 feet close to you or 6 feet in your range without you being aware of anything. Nick, can you use your shirt to defend yourself, or belt cover or arm deflect attack? I mean, if I have a shirt, just maybe whip it in his face, throw it in his face, use anything. That strike from up to bottom, late blocked, how to handle that. Roya has great books on this topic. And it's true, because of the adrenaline, guys, you won't feel the stabs, right? You won't feel like you're getting stabbed. So the idea that, oh, if I stab, I'm gonna die, the idea is for you to keep training, right? Your Hero program, do you have a member access to it? Pauline, yes, I do. It's only $10 a month, guys. I have complete brand new. I just filmed 18 videos 2 weeks ago, and I'm not putting them anymore on YouTube because they keep, they're all gonna be on my membership site. So it's $10 a month, and there's tons of content up there, guys. And I put content every week, as well as access to my seminars and all the stuff I've done. I just put the last 12 videos, Kareem. The last 12 videos are gonna be going up right now. And in those videos, I'm gonna have improvised weapons. I'm gonna have defense against multiple attackers, a lot of good new videos. I saw a belt so you can avoid for my mommy. Vors, what's your question? I mean the awareness point, not the knife. I don't know what you, great books on topics. Absolutely, guys. So the awareness part is very important. How do you manage to be aware without having paranoia? So Ahmed, that's a really good question. So here's a rule of thumb, right? If I walk into a bus and I think everybody's out to get me, that's being paranoia. That's being paranoid. If I walk into the bus and it's, for some reason, there's a guy standing in the corner, maybe it's 30 degrees, he's wearing a shirt, he's scratching his head, he's looking around. What you do is you're basically scanning, you're profiling, you're trying to, is there anything out of the ordinary that this person is doing that's, not like everybody else, right? And you don't want to be like this, but I developed this through working in clubs. When I used to look at people, or they used to come in, the way they looked at me, did they look down, challenge me, chest out? Did they give me attitude? How did they shake my hand? Did they put pressure or didn't they? Did they look up? Did they look down? Did they look me in the eyes? Did they bring their chest out and come really close? Did they try to intimidate me? You could feel so much by somebody's energy, as well as reading body language and behavior is the key to the self-defense. So again, I've developed this because of my years as a bouncer, where I could look at somebody and I knew right away, if he was a threat or not, just by the body language. I found the ice pick grip much harder. The ice pick grip is the hardest one to... Vincent, my man, what's going on? Yeah, Vincent's in the house. What is it to link to your library? Okay, your tips are very helpful, because rough part, absolutely, man. New York right now has gotten pretty crazy right now, and I know that. What do you think is more effective as defense, jab to the eye or hit to the groin? I mean, they're both, I like that initial strike into the eyes. I was practicing it on the Bob dummy today. Eyes, throat, boom, elbow. So I'm injured on my AC joint. So now I'm really just working, boom, boom, my left hand. I'm switching my stance, boom, boom, boom. Just working on this hand and movement. Yes, I did watch the Khabib fight, guys. Alex, what's up? That's it, guys. So everything's at nickdrossos.com. When people have their hands in their pocket, good point, Frederick. If the person's here and he's doing this and he's talking to, or here, now he might just have his hands in his pockets, but he also might have a weapon. So every time, so here's a rule of thumb, guys. I'm going to teach you guys a great lesson. I teach this in my program. If the guy's doing this, my hands are going to come a little bit lower. If he's doing this, my hands might come a little bit lower and a little bit higher, right? So I'm always following his hands, right? If he's doing this, both hands, I'm not gonna bring my hands here. I might bring them up a little bit lower so I could be able to jam and block them really quick. How far should you be if a person has their hands out and is approaching? How far should you be if the person has their hands out? How far should you be? Again, I don't want to tell you your how many feet is as well your space and your range. So me, this is my range. So I'm looking at the camera right now. If I'm here and I'm talking to you, around here I'm safe. I'm far. I know that for you to try to attack me, you're gonna have to be telegraphic and come in and step in. Now, if I'm in this range here, my hands are coming up. I'm not letting you. There's no way I'm gonna let you in my close quarter range, 2 to 4 feet around. As soon as you're in 2 to 4 feet, my hands are up. From here to here to here to here to here to here. I'm talking with my hands because I want to be able to block, to deflect, to trap, to strike. Immediately, as soon as I see something, I need to step in. Okay? If I train my son knife defense, I don't train him knife defense, but I do train him, I'm already training him the angles of attack. Best way to block a straight punch side. What is your favorite technique against a knife? Juka, there is no best technique against the knife. It's about concepts. The idea, Nick, put some videos where you share your life experience like these type of videos. I'm gonna be doing this in the book. Nick, are there any tips on how a person alone should walk? Not be, for example, criminal attack. So, great, Vincent, I love the question, man. I'm gonna answer Vincent's question now. When you're walking guys in the street, an attacker is gonna attack you based on your body language. Meaning, let's do this right now. Am I walking like this? What is that? What am I saying now? I'm scared. I'm afraid. Nobody approach me. I'm just walking in front. I don't want to look around. I don't want to see what's happening. Now, you walk around like this. Shoulders back, core engaged, head up. Without the arrogance, you're not doing this. I'm looking, shoulders are back. My head's moving. That means if I hear something, I'll look at him. I see somebody behind me, I'll turn around. Just sending to that signal to an attacker that you're aware of everybody that's around you. You're aware of your space. Your chest out without doing this shows confidence. Your shoulders back. That's why, guys, I tell you, train. Combat conditioning. Train. Look strong. Let the person who thinks they're going to attack you say, fuck, that guy looks like a tough guy. I don't want to mess with that guy. That guy looks in shape. That guy looks like he's going to put a fight. That's the first most important part of self-defense. Show that when you're there, oh, you look solid. You look the part. You send the message to any attacker that if I'm going to go pick on this guy, I'm in for a fight. This is not going to be an easy fight. Right? Already that confidence, right? And guys, I wasn't a tough kid, man. I was bullied as a kid. I was picked on. And I built my confidence through training. Once I started getting bigger, stronger, I started feeling more confident. I started, sparring more, fighting more, rolling more. Then I started working in the clubs. That's how it was built. So if you're at home, right, and you tell me, oh, Nick, I want to learn self-defense. I don't have a training partner. Start by training your ass off. You tell me, Nick, I don't have money. I'm broke. Go outside. Burpees, push-ups, lunges, squats. Oh, Nick, I want a weight vest. Take a backpack, put 5 books, and go train. You don't have a punching bag? Guess what? Use a tree. It's bullshit, guys. There's always a reason for you to go out there and to train. I'm 44 years old, guys. I'm going to be 44 next month. I'm not doing this to show off now, but I want to lead. by example. I'm 44 years old. People tell me, why do you train so hard? Because I want to lead by example. I want to inspire you guys, right? I'm still training hard because it's also my job. It's also my profession. And I want to look the part. I want to be the part. I want to be able to inspire you guys. See, anybody who's done self-defense at some point was bullied or picked on as a kid. And believe it or not, we should thank these bullies, because these bullies are what made us. These bullies are what are basically my teachers. They were the ones who created Nick Drossos. Being picked on and bullied on, and being a small, skinny kid with braces and being hit in the face is what made me the instructor I am today. And sometimes we need these people to trigger us and to wake us up. So I'm very grateful for that. And today, it's my life. It's what I do full time. And I'm lucky enough to be able to do it as a full time. Have I ever been jumped as a bouncer? Yes. I got jumped, guys. I got jumped, fucking sucker punched. I didn't get knocked out. I got definitely like hit pretty hard. And it happens, guys. You know what? I'm not here to tell you guys I'm the ultimate best fighter. I've won 100 fights or no. I've won fights. I've lost fights. But what I could tell you is what I'm teaching you, and I'm not just saying this, does work. It's real, right? I would never. Here's the thing, guys. People tell me, Nick, how do I know what you're teaching works or is real? What I'm teaching you is what I'm starting to teach my 13-year-old boy, 12-year-old. I would never teach him something that I would not teach you. I would never teach him something if I even doubted it wouldn't work, because it's his life. So to me, now that I'm training him, I'm like, I'm even breaking down more what I teach to make sure that I'm teaching this to one of the people I love the most in the world, and his safety means everything. You are fake, bro. All right, black sheet, hey Shaka, I'm afraid. Vincent, thank you, Vincent. I mean, dude, chill, shut up. What are the top 3 self-defense movies you think you should know? I mean, there's no top 3 self-defense. Yeah, guys, I mean, there's full of trolls. And here's the thing, guys. I want to thank Vincent, guys, from MMA. Go check out his channel. I was a guest there, MMA Chat. And I want to thank Vincent for taking the time and coming on. And I mean, I'm trying to like teach you guys as best as I could, you know, how to defend yourself. If you don't like what you see, you know, go watch somebody else. Nick, what do you do if a woman attacks you? Great. I'm actually going to be doing that on my book. And I was attacked by a woman working in the club. And defense against a woman is not easy. Because, man, I mean, if you're ever attacked by a woman who completely, like, it was like trying to give a freaking, you know, a cat that weighs 20 pounds a bath, right? It went crazy. And I remember I'm at the club and we have her boyfriend and we're stopping him and we have him like in a lock, and next thing you know, she's like, let go of my boyfriend. And she comes swinging, and as she swings, I step off. I step back and I'm like, I'm about to strike her, and I'm like, shit, I can't strike her. And I go in with both hands and I just put her in a bear hug. So I'm in the bear hug and she's headbutting me, moving, biting me, going completely crazy. So as I grabbed her, I stuck to her. And as I'm grabbing her, I have no clue what to do. And then I'm like, I'm trying to contain her, and I didn't know how to transition because she was going wild, even going for a choke or going up. So I kind of just put her in a bear hug, and I started screaming at the other bouncer, grab her feet, grab her feet. So we literally grabbed her like almost like a body bag where we had the feet, and then we threw her out. And then when she went out, it was the most savage thing I've ever seen. They were fighting over her boyfriend or whatever. Then the other girl came out and they started fighting together. Guys, it was the most savage fight I've ever seen in my life. It was these two women, and I'm gonna be talking about it in my book. These girls were eye gouging, biting, pulling hair, slamming the heads on the floor. Guys, it was the most vicious and brutal thing I've ever seen. And I remember, and this is where a lot of what I teach comes from, right? my source of inspiration and my self-defense comes from not only the fights I've been in, but what I've seen. And I remember I was teaching at the time, and I remember I'm sitting there and I'm looking at this fight. At this point, I'm like, I don't want to get involved. And I'm thinking, wow, gross motor skills, eye gouging, biting, hair pulling, slamming the head. They were just going completely crazy with no technique, didn't look good. They didn't care about looking pretty like the guys, like, hey bro, you know. It was just complete survival. And I looked at it and I said, wow, what can I learn from all this? Right? And they were not trained. They were not trained. They were just out to rip each other's head. And I mean, it got so violent. At one point, we had to break it up because I'm like, the girl was slamming the other girl's head on the floor. And guys were like, oh, and then at one point, clothes are ripping off and you're like, this got completely out of control. Again, it's outside the club and there's so many people involved and you're like, I don't want to get involved with this shit, you know? I think, thanks for the videos. I'm French and these kind of attacks are becoming frequent. Again, guys, use your awareness. That's the wilderness. Nick, will you go to Istanbul to do a fight seminar there? No plans for Istanbul, that's for sure, guys. Do you get? Nick, do I have to get in the ring to have confidence? Look, guys, getting in the ring is going to help you. Get in the ring. You don't need a ring. Put on a pair of gloves, put on a mouthpiece, and just do some light sparring. Start like this. Just boom, 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 boom. Just feel the contact of getting hit in the face with the gloves. Go light. Have somebody try to swing at you and move and do drills. Pick a good person, pick a good partner to train with, right? Xavier right now, he's in Dubai because he's going to be fighting. So, and we're supposed to train today. My shoulder's feeling better. My ribs are healed. So as soon as he comes back, I'm going to start sparring with him. I'm going to start sparring and I'm going to be posting some videos. Nick, do you like your Bob dummy? What is the price of it? So guys, I love the Bob dummy. This is $500, you know, best money you could buy. If I elbow a strike to the head, can I break my arm? No, you can't. Chances are no. Anything could happen, but no, the elbow's very solid. I'm too busy right now to travel anywhere. They can be costly, like 250 sometimes. Yes. Vincent, I would tell you, man, buy one. I'm telling you what I like about the Bob dummy. You know, I was working on it today. Finger jab, throat strike, hammer fist, elbow, you know, and you could work the tool and target development. I don't really work on punching, so I do mostly palms. So I hit the wall. So that's what I do to develop my palms. Again, guys, spar, put on the gloves, roll, do some physical contact so you could experience. Elbow property, I know. Please tell me is the best technique to block a straight hook. A straight and hook. Again, what I like to do is just bring up the hands. If it goes to the middle, parry. If it comes around, boom, boom, here or here. So I do this a lot. Up, boom, 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 boom. So I did a video on the angles of attack. Boom, right? How do you make your, can you disarm a knife really fast? Guys, again, it depends how fast it is. How do you make your punches stronger? The way to make your punches stronger, people don't realize, is not so much the punch itself, but it's being able to generate force and power through the hips. So when I'm transferring weight, I'm doing this. I'm putting all my body. So on my website, guys, I have a combat conditioning series where I'm showing exercises to develop your speed, your balance, your core strength, your explosive power. So go check that out at nickdrossos.com. Do you read your opponent's mind? How do you read your opponent's mind? You don't read your opponent's mind. You don't want to read his mind. You want to read his behavior, his body. Nick, I'm 48 and I have some spinal stenosis and have several herniated discs. Do you think martial arts is a bad idea for me? Would you think Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or Judo not be smart? Look, if you have these type of injuries, you definitely got to start slow. Obviously, speak to your doctor first. The problem with like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and some of these, it requires, the more movement you have with someone else, the higher chances of getting injured. So So if you could do exercise, if you could start training to strengthen your core, strengthen that part of your body without needing a partner to do those physical, that physical part of it, that's what I would do for now. So yes, you could still train, do your combat conditioning, do your training, hit the bag, do light exercises, but anything that requires you moving, being jerked, being thrown, is higher chance of you being hit. How do you stay calm if you someone with a knife? See, if someone has a knife, guys, people tell me, Nick, how do I stay calm? How do I not freeze? How do I not panic? Train, right? If I don't know what to do, it's not for nothing. I always give the example of, like, in school, my son is in school, they do fire drills. Why do they do fire drills? When you're ding, 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 they know, okay, you got to run, go outside, get in line. There's a series of things they have to follow. If they don't, what happens? You just start freaking out because you can't find an answer. So the best way for you to avoid freezing, panicking, is to actually have a solution, is to actually know what to do. Now, it might not be foolproof every single time, but knowing something is better than nothing. Knowing or having an idea or a blueprint, some kind of idea of how you can survive or do something, is better than you be going, what do I do? I know that if I'm attacked with a knife, at least I know certain principles and concepts I need to do to survive. If I didn't, then my brain would start trying to find a solution or how to survive in something that I've never trained. What would you suggest I buy to get my own gym going? Buy a good size. Meryl Davis, that's a good question. I mean, I don't have any big equipment, guys, in my gym. I have TRX, kettlebells. Well, mind you, I'll give you guys, you guys want to see a tour of my gym? So I'll give you guys a little tour of my gym. So you guys could see, this is everything I have. I have my weights here, medicine ball, my TRX rip here. I have the bands where I do my punching. I have my bob dummy, my bench. I have all the kettlebells, my landmine, weight vest. I got the weights over here, skipping rope. In here, guys, you could see I got all this boxing gear, training, helmets, right? Over here, I got my bar. This was me when I was like 20 years ago, actually. And this is my new added to my gym right now, right? So I'm starting to do some hard, heavy deadlifting and powerlifting. I'm going, again, working on a little bit of size. You have your bathroom in here. So this is my personal training studio. We're doing some renovations right now. But as you can see, you can get away with doing everything from home with a kettlebell, get a bob dummy, a TRX, and some bands, and you're gonna have everything you need to train. So you don't need an expensive gym. You don't need to go spend a lot of money. There's a lot of stuff that you'll be able to do just from home. So, because your six-pack is looking strong as fuck. Yeah. So my six-pack is looking good, guys. I gotta admit, it's coming out now. Again, I'm being very, very tight on my diet. I'm eating well. I kind of fell off the wagon because of my training. Shoulder feels better. So I didn't let it slow down. Now I'm focusing more on lower body. I'm doing a lot of explosive power stuff. I'm taking away everything from my shoulders, but I'm still training, guys. I didn't want it to slow it down. Eating clean, absolutely, man. And I'm not going crazy with the diet. I'm just watching what I'm eating, right? I'm being more aware of making sure I put good foods in my body, especially that I'm getting older. So, guys, I want to thank you guys for watching. Go visit my website, nickdrossos.com. Vincent, send me a text so we could plan to do our live together. Not our live, our podcast. You come on my podcast, as well as, guys, go check out Vincent MMA. Go follow him on his website, on his YouTube channel. He's got great guests on his podcast, amazing. And I want to thank you guys for watching. I'm probably going to be going live tomorrow again or next week. I'm going to have Big Nick come here, and we're going to do a nice big live on how to fight a much bigger and much taller attacker. And the last thing, guys, go visit my website, nickdrossos.com. I have brand new content, brand new video, knife defense, a lot more up there, as well as my instructor course next year. And that's it, guys. Vincent, my man, I want to thank you, and stay safe, guys.